Hey guys, wanted to make a quick video on what I consider best practices, best realistic practices for zeroing your pistol dot. So I just did a video where I installed my Judge XL on my double stack Night Stalker DS, and now I'm going to go to the range and I want to zero it. So I'll give you a little secret up front. These optics come from the factory at the middle of their adjustment, so they're mechanically zeroed. Of course, we don't know where it's going to zero on any particular weapon system. A shotgun is going to be different from a rifle. It's going to be different from a 45. It's going to be different from a 10 millimeter. You get the idea. But they're mechanically zeroed in the middle of their travel to start out with, and a lot of the times that will get you really close to start with. And I took a test shot before I went live on camera, and I'm glad I did, because I've actually deliberately screwed up my settings because it was so close out of the box that I wouldn't have been able to make a good video for you. It would have been a couple clicks and we're good. So I've deliberately screwed up my optic so I can unscrew it up and show you my zeroing process. I'm going to do it kind of scientifically today. The redneck way is to just stand there and blast away at paper and adjust as you want to until it feels better. And I've done a lot of them that way. I'm just going to stand up and shoot unsupported until I feel like it's hitting where I want it to hit. Let's try to be a little bit more scientific today. So I'm just going to put in 2 or 3 shots. Let's call it 3 shots into my mag. And for today, I've got this pistol rest. I like these a lot. Personally, I'm not getting any love from the bore sight people, but if you're thinking about buying a laser bore sighter to zero your optic in your living room, I don't recommend those. Take that same amount of money and spend it on one of these little pistol, these are cheap, man, these little pistol rests. And this with live fire is going to get you zeroed way better than screwing around in your kitchen with a laser bore sighter wheel. Okay, sorry bore sighter people, it's my personal opinion. So I'm at 10 yards. Why am I at 10 yards? Because it's easy for me to do the math. We know that the clicks in this optic are half MOA per click, and that 1 MOA is about 1 inch at 100 yards. So if I'm 10 yards away to zero, I just moved the decimal point over, and I'm basically at 1/10 of an inch for an MOA at 10 yards. So we can math that out if we want to. Most guys are just going to sort of like do a bunch of clicks and see how far it went, and then do a little bit more and trial and error it. That's what I usually do. But let's try to math it out today. So I'm going to take 3 shots here. I've got this adjustable rest set up the way that I like it. And so I've got this rested. It's right in the middle. The dot's right in the middle of I've got an IDPA target. You'll see in a second. And basically, I'm going to treat this pistol like a sniper rifle. All right, like I'm a precision shooter shooting a 600-yard target with a, with a 2-stage sniper trigger. I'm going to hold extremely still. I'm not going to worry about recoil control. Recoil control doesn't really matter right now. And I'm going to just pull straight back and let it surprise me. Actually, I'm going to turn my brightness down a little bit. I have a bit of an astigmatism, so I get a smear. If I turn the brightness down, the optic is not as fast to acquire, but I get a more precise aiming point. So I'm trying to shoot for precision. I turn it down a couple of notches. I have a precise 6 MOA red dot in this one, and wow, that's terrible. I really did screw up this settings on this thing. Okay, so that's my 3 shots. I'm empty. Another thing about zeroing is use factory ammo. Okay, I shoot a lot of hand loads, but they're not super consistent. I'm trying to zero. I'm trying to be precise here. So I'm using, this is MagTech. This stuff is 147 grain. If you are going to carry a gun defensively, it's going to be your EDC. Zero with the same bullet weight of projectile, okay? Because 147s are going to hit slightly different than 124s. They're going to hit slightly different than 115s. So start out at least with the projectile weight of being the same. So if I was going to carry this gun, I would load it with 147 hollow points, and then I would zero it initially with 147 grain range ammo, And then if you want to be really serious about it, when we back up and we refine it later on, you might want to even use up some of that carry ammo and make sure that it hits where you expect to. We'll get to that. All right, let's go see how we did. Okay, oof size large. That's terrible. We are almost out of the A zone on an IDPA target. I have these two that are almost touching each other. So out of this group, I'm going to call those the group, and this guy outside the A zone, the flyer, just because these two were closer together, right? Now we got to figure out how much we want to adjust. Now, normally I would redneck it and just go, oh, we got to go high left and kind of turn, and then shoot. And it might be kind of there and kind of keep shooting and blow more ammo, trying to figure out what it is. Let's see if we can science this out. So I have my tape measure here, and from the tight group here, I'm getting about 2 inches from center on the right. So tell you what, let's do this twice. Instead of adjusting both at the same time, I'm going to adjust windage first, then elevation. All right. So I'm going to call this 2 inches from center. We need to adjust 2 inches. So we have 1 MOA per click in the Judge XL. Almost every dot we make is 1 MOA per click, with the sole exception right now of Valor Mini, which is 1.5 MOA per click. And that's because to get that really low deck height in Valor Mini, so it'll co-witness with the factory iron sights, we had to sacrifice something. And we went to 1.5 MOA clicks in that particular optic. This one's 1 MOA per click. If this was a 100-yard group, I would need 2 clicks at 1 click per MOA. If it was a 50-yard group, that's half the distance, I would need 4 clicks. But we're at 10 yards, so we just moved the decimal point over, right? So if I was going to make, if 1 MOA is 1 inch at 100 yards, then all the way close at 10 yards, it's about 1/10 of an inch. I just moved the decimal point over, right? So that means it's going to take me 20 clicks to go 2 inches at 10 yards. That's a ton of clicks, right? So these optics are very, very finely adjustable for pistol distances. 1 MOA per click is plenty of fine adjustment for pistol shooting. So I got to go 20 clicks to the left. Let's do it. Got my macro lens on the camera so you can see what I'm doing a little bit. Remember this guy? This is our little wrench that came in the box. And we're going to use the little wrench to go to the left. We need to go 2 inches to the left, or 20 clicks. You'll see there's an arrow pointing this way and an R. That tells me that point of impact will shift to the right if I go counterclockwise. But I don't want to go right. I'm too far to the right. I want to go left. So I need to go clockwise, the opposite of the marking that's on the scope, to move my point of impact to the left. A lot of guys will kind of trick themselves out. They think about, well, which way does the dot move inside the window and how does that affect? No, stop overthinking it. The labeled adjustments on the optic adjust your point of impact. The bullets went right. I want bullets to go left. That means I need to turn this thing left, and I need to go 20 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Tactile and audible clicks. Rather proud of that. When I first started in this business 10 years ago, that was almost impossible. It was very difficult to achieve tactile and audible clicks back then. And at this price point of what we're selling Judge XL, it's not something that people get excited about. It's not new and innovative, but boy, it does make a difference to have actual clicks that you can feel and hear in a pistol dot. I'm still impressed with that, even though we all take it for granted now. All right, let's shoot again and see how far over to the left we moved. These are not the most precise turrets ever, so we'll see what we get. Okay, I got a storm incoming. I better zero this thing under some time pressure. Let's go. 3 more rounds. Now, we did not adjust elevation. We only adjusted windage. So I should still be very low. But, yep, with the cloud cover, I'm going to turn my dot brightness down a second time. Okay, another decent group. It pretty much did what I expected. Okay, so we've made progress. We are almost straight down from the zero, but not quite as far as I'd like. I'm going to call this, again, my group, because those two are touching. I might give this another 3 or 4 clicks to the left just for good luck, but let's go ahead and measure that vertical distance. Again, we're at about, looks like about 2.5 inches low. So again, we move the decimal point over. If 2 inches was 20 clicks, then 2.5 inches is going to be 25 clicks. Let's try that out. So like I said, I didn't get quite as far over as I wanted to. So we're going to take that same wrench and we're going to go a little bit more to the left. Call it 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I need to go up. So this says up with an arrow counterclockwise. Point of impact will go up. I'm going to count 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. And let's do 3 more. 1, 2, 3, because we had a little bit less movement than we wanted on windage. So I'm going to assume that elevation is the same and give it just a kiss more than the pure math would say. Let's see what happens. Okay, I've loaded 5 into this gun because I'm hoping that we're going to be really close now and I want to shoot a nice tight group. The wind is blowing. There's leaves blowing across the target. There's a storm coming in. Time to focus. Oh, man. Well, that worked. Okay, so both windage and elevation are a little bit less than 1 MOA per click. We need just a chef's kiss of a couple more clicks. Or do we? Because actually that's, well, let me show you. Finally shot a nice group. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, I did add like 3 more clicks to the left, right? I was supposed to go, 20 clicks and I went 23 or 24, and now I'm just shaded a little to the left, right? Maybe these turrets are better than I thought. Maybe I should just left it alone. But at 10 yards, I'm going to call that good. I'm going to call that zeroed. And then we're going to back up and I'm going to shoot from 25 and we're going to see if we need to refine our zero. Now, one thing I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to mark these holes here so I don't get confused about my 10-yard shots and my 25-yard shots. All right, let's just back it up from 10 to 25. We know that we're on very nicely at 10, and let's try to refine the zero. Okay, so now I've dragged my table all the way back to the rear of this range. I'm at 25 yards, which is the furthest distance I can shoot at this range, and I'm going to try to refine my zero now. I've just put 3 more rounds in the Night Stalker DS, and I'm just going to take 3 very well-aimed shots. This is the part where if this was a carry gun, or if it was a race gun, I would want to shoot with the ammo I'm going to compete with if I was going to be serious about competition, or if I was going to carry this gun, I would think about using some of my defensive ammo for this. I need to know exactly where the ammo is going to hit that I intend to use when it really counts. And I hope my audio is good because the wind is really blowing. If I miss, I'm blaming the wind. It's all the wind's fault. This is the part where having the rest here helps a lot. If I was standing up, I would have a hard time shooting a tight enough group to make a decision on. All right, that felt like 3 good shots. Let's see how we did. Okay, so even with the rest, I was shooting a group with 3 shots that's not anything to be super proud of. I've got 1 to the left, 2 that are a little high. All 3 of these are high. I could probably make a decision that my optic is a little bit high right now at 25. But I don't think I can make a decision based on windage. The windage looks pretty good here and pretty awful there. I need to shoot more, which I'm going to do off camera. I'm not going to drag you through the whole process. I'm going to put maybe 5 more rounds through this thing, and let's see if I can make a decision on how to refine my zero at 25. So the storm's coming. You can probably hear the wind and the thunder. It's starting to rain. I've now got 7 shots here, and I've got a little bit more information that I'm a little high left. All right, and at 25 yards, I'm going to just refine this zero down a little bit. I need to come down and right just a touch at 25 yards. All right. Oh, it is absolutely starting to rain. And on that note, I'm going to make my clicks, and I'll see you at the range next time. Ah! Okay, guys, the storm's blown through, and I had a buffalo chicken sandwich for lunch while it was storming. So I have a full stomach. My targets are still out there. I'm going to make that adjustment that I talked about. You know, I think I should have trusted the Judge XL's 1 MOA per click specification a little bit more, because I added a couple 2 or 3 clicks just to make sure, and then I wound up being high left instead of low right. So let's take away those clicks that I added, and let's just do it straight up with the original 20 clicks like the math said I should have done. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 down, and I'm going to go, I need to come to the right, so that's counterclockwise according to the markings. Let's go 1, 2, 3 of those. Okay, so I've got 5 shots in the mag. I'm going to take this nice and slow and steady. If I have to speed it up later on video, I'll do that, but I'm going to take these shots nice and slow. It's overcast again, so I have the dot turned pretty far down for the Christmas dot. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to aim at the head of this target. So I'm going to adjust this until that's where I want it. Quick adjust on this little pistol sled. I'm telling you guys, this thing's worth its weight in gold for what you spend. All right, here we go. 5 precise shots. Okay, let's set these shots down. Let's see what the results are. Okay, guys, so this is what I shot before. The target's very wet, but it's still up. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got a fist-size group at 25 yards. That's about as good as I can shoot with that particular gun and that particular ammo. I'm going to call that good. If I really wanted to, I could make this video even longer and refine it, come over a couple of clicks. You get the idea. At 25 yards, my clicks have become much more effective in terms of, this was 20 clicks at 10 yards just to get from here to here. But I made a difference in my point of impact with only 3 clicks in each direction at 25 yards. So it's going to take me only 4 clicks to move an inch at 25 yards. 0.25 of 100 is 1/4 of an inch per click, right? So 4 clicks theoretically will move me an inch. So if I wanted to come over, I need to go another 4 clicks to the right to refine this zero. This is also where the quality of your ammo and the quality of your gun matter. This is where we're starting to really split hairs here. So this is what I shot with MagTech bulk pack 147s through a TSOS Night Stalker double stack. Maybe that's not its favorite bullet weight. Maybe it likes 124s or 115s. Maybe if I was shooting a $4,000 staccato match gun instead of a $700 Turkish gun, I would have an awesome super cool tight group, right? I don't know. For me, this is acceptable, and this is more than good enough for me to go out and compete. If it was a carry gun, if it was a go-to-war gun, this would be acceptable accuracy for me. But some guys have the money, and they want to buy a gun that's guaranteed to shoot half an inch at 25 yards or something like that, right? So it's up to you. It's up to what you want to spend. I will say that having a dot on your gun like that Judge XL makes a giant difference in accuracy at 25 yards. Aiming with a point of aim that covers 6 inches at 100 yards, that would be 3 inches. At 50 yards, that would be 1.5 inches. So that dot covers 1.5 inches at 25 yards, as opposed to a giant front sight that blocks your vision, right? It's not even close. So don't overcorrect at 25 yards. Be very cautious. Only do a couple, 2 or 3 clicks at a time. And other than that, zero your optics. I did all of this today. I did it slow, and I burned through more ammo than I usually do because I wanted to shoot groups. And I still only used up a half a box of ammo doing this, guys. It doesn't take, I mean, look how long this video is. 99% of it is me sitting here talking to you. The actual shooting part did not take that long. So don't just mess around in your living room with a laser bore sighter. Go to the range, blow through half a box of ammo, and zero your pistol. And be safe. See you at the range.